Oh my goodness, is it my fabulous Aries? Oh my god, it is! Welcome, y'all. This is Miss RHW with another love reading for you guys. And this here, we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be pulling from the I Ching Oracle deck. Now, this deck requires me to pull 2 cards. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull 1 card initially, read the meaning of that. Now, these cards have lines on them. Towards the end, I'm going to count the lines of your outcome card, which we'll pull at the end of your tarot reading to kind of tie in the messages all together, see how they flow and how they impact your outcome of the spread that we're using, which will also be different. And I'll be breaking down each of those placements as we go along. Now, the preliminaries, babies, because you know this is a YouTube reading, and well, YouTube, Rumble, everything's kind of baby proofed right now because certain places require certain stipulations. So for all my babies out here, just a reminder, this is a collective for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. So be sure to check your astrology to know exactly where your Aries placements are so you know how to apply this reading. But in that sense, please keep in mind that some readings may or may not, some portion of the reading may or may not resonate with you. So please allow space for other Aries who may have other troubling, different lives to get insight on their situation. Okay, if you are looking for something that's more tailored towards you though, or you're looking for a message or looking for a tarot reading that's actually based on your situation, there is information in the description box to book a reading with me. Please join my online community. It's free. We just require you to have ID because it's for 21 people, 21 and up. We don't allow actual babies in here, okay? But for all my YouTube babies, Twitch babies, I don't want to call Rumble babies. I maybe call the Rumbles team since I can actually do a little bit more on there. I can expand myself a bit more. I don't have to worry about censorship or stupid ads acting like they have to dictate what I'm going to show in order to allow me to give them platform space to advertise their shit that's got nothing to do with my crap. Right. Not making sense. Okay. Not making sense. We're jumping right into this, Aries. You got me already toasted. Okay, we're gonna see what's going on with your love lives for Aries. We got number 5. Ooh, that's a beautiful card. I haven't seen this one yet. Beautiful. Gonna turn this light up because it's dark, you know. Okay. Period. Beautiful. Okay, we're gonna read that. It's number 5. 5. Waiting. The waiting. This sign indicates that you have to face a danger ahead which you cannot control. Try to remain calm and not succumb to your fear. Waiting need not mean helplessly hoping. Use this time to recognize the fundamental elements of your life honestly. Become aware of your strengths and weaknesses, and in doing so, develop the strength to meet future challenges. You need to say your strength now by remaining calm and serene. Live in the here and now. Replace your doubts and worries with certainty and create an atmosphere in which trust and self-confidence can grow. Goddamn. You are about to face a danger that you cannot control. We're going to take a look at your situation, see what's coming up for that, why that's coming up for you guys. What danger and why are you being asked to replace your fears and doubts with certainty and create an atmosphere which trust and confidence, self-confidence can grow? Let's see what's up. So this position is that we're going to use the karmic spread. This position is talking about your current situation. This position here talks about your past life influences. This here talks about what could be manifested from the actions that are taken. This position talks about taking your challenges and turning them into stepping stones, and this card is your surrender card or your sacrifice card. What might need to be sacrificed for possible spiritual or personal development. Okay, and then of course we got our preface, 5 of Cups. Damn. So for some of you guys, this unforeseen danger possibly have already happened. I think you guys are already kind of navigating the after effects of the situation. And now it's just about kind of maintaining a sense of momentum and keeping yourself balanced as you go through this process. The 5 of Cups as your preface card does suggest to me that you're going through a very difficult time. feel like some of you guys may feel like you've lost something. You may have lost a family member, someone close to you sometimes when the Five of Cups comes up. But luckily, I'm not seeing any other cards here that suggest that there is some sort of death. So I hope that everyone at home is okay and safe. If not, bless you and your family. I do deeply in condolences for you guys. Aside from that, the Five of Cups can really just be like there's a lot of emphasis on what was and what has been, and there isn't a lot of emphasis on what you can do in the moment that can honestly gear you towards growth. Because I think this whole reading is about shifting your focus, shifting your mindset, despite how difficult it is, to what's possible towards growth. So, with your current situation here, as with the Chariot, I like it because it talks about the potential for success or victory, as in your diligence and your fortitude. The Chariot is it's a Cancer energy, so it's interesting that for you Aries, you have a card that's really squaring you, challenging you, all in itself. But it's about maintaining certain level of control, so you don't always fly off the handle or you lose motivation and don't do anything at all. You don't want to get to a point where you stop and go. You want to heal through this, and you want to heal through it steadily and consistently. And I feel like that's kind of what's going on. You're kind of trying to get the ball rolling, get things started, and you're doing this kind of on your own. I feel like when I look at the cards, I'm thinking, why do you have the Nine of Pentacles as to what can be manifested from actions taken, and it comes from your influence, right? Ace of Pentacles, you have already started something. You've committed to something. You said, hey, this is where I'm going to go. This is what I'm investing in time and energy into. So this is where I'm going to be. This could be career, but this could also be a new relationship. Some of you guys may have had a situation in a relationship where it just may have had some falling out, maybe a disagreement. Maybe there hasn't been much seeing eye to eye, and it's left the relationship feeling a little bit on the shoulda, coulda, woulda side, almost like we're about to probably break up for real card. And some of you guys are dealing with a solid breakup. Like, this is a real breakup, and you're learning how to be more, you're learning how to live single again. You're learning how to put yourself first again and to enjoy your space in your singlehood. I don't think that some of you guys, may have been that this has been a long time. You guys have been broken up for ages, and now you're learning how not to be so hung up on your independence, be so tied down by your your sense of your will. Because again, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want to kind of like live life single and not really be pressed, then that's you, right? That's you got this, and that's not a problem. If you're watching this reading wanting something to do with love, this card is not really the greatest card when it comes for that. Mainly because this is a card of being single. So you can use it to your advantage to get yourself outside and do things that's, gonna interact with other people. But this is also someone staying in their comfort zone. And this is a comfort zone where someone has built up a wonderful fortress of beautiful, lavish escape, honestly, a utopia that they honestly don't see themselves a real need to venture out side of to find enjoyment. So you got to be careful. Like, I feel like there's a little bit of this, like there's a little bit of trying here. If you guys are like, oh man, the relationship was so nice at one point in my life, but I would really like one now, but haven't changed any behaviors or patterns that would honestly like allow people to even know that you exist. Keep, if you're kind of a homebody, or you've been a homebody, or you're kind of really point A to point B, and you don't have any in between time or time to waste. Well, I mean, who does these days? But still, you're not giving much opportunity for somebody to meet you, but that can change very easily because it's still within your ability to do so. If you want somebody to meet you, all you gotta do is be in this. You just have to show up. And you're like, well, where do I want to go? Would I want to go anywhere? Do you have any friends? Do you have any people around you? I mean, I feel you may have lost some friends too, but I feel like there are people around you. There are some connections around you that you can work with and see about getting into a, I don't know, you see about meeting people, networking, whatever. You'd be surprised about who you meet in that just strategy all in itself. So we move on to the Page of Pentacles as to how you turn the Nine of Pentacles into a stepping stone, which we kind of, I feel like, already do. We find things of interest. We find things to dedicate to our routine, and we stay consistent with it. We just keep up with it. We don't just start something, see if we like it, don't come back to it for about 6 months, and then be like, oh man, nothing came out of it. How come nothing came out of it? It's about routine, it's about structure, it's about consistency. But it's consistency that's authentic and real, that you can keep up with without necessarily thinking about. I like this card here, the Knight of Wands, where he is actually something, it's a sign of, I feel like it's a refuge when it comes to all this earth and water. He's about fun. He's about escaping and having a good time. And I say escaping, it's higher learning too. He can escape in knowledge. He can escape in books and information, and enriching his intelligence by gaining new information. He could go absolutely bonkers. The second thing to kind of get serious, he runs away. And I feel like the parts of this Knight of Wands that could be asking you, Aries, to let go of altogether is this, I don't think that people who are in love have problems. I don't think people who are in love fight. I don't think people who are in love go through all these crazy things with each other, have differences of opinion. I don't think that anybody has anything wrong going on. And anything that I see as negative, which is usually to do with conflict resolution or dealing with a difference of opinion, or where someone has a bad attitude or something like that, where I don't really particularly feel safe or comfortable, those are situations that just do not align with the ideal or the idea of what the perfect relationship looks like. So I'm always going to be looking. That is what this probably is suggesting you walk away from right now, those sort of mindsets. There's never going to be a relationship that is not going to have its own issues, okay? They're all going to have them. Some people don't have to have a straight up screaming match to have an issue. Some people just don't talk, and that's an issue on itself. Some people don't talk enough. Some people don't know what to say. Some people don't understand certain things should be shared, and it shouldn't just be left up to you, despite that it's you that's being affected mainly. You are a part of a partnership. And so that's sort of like, oh, the perfect relationship means I don't have an argument, I fight with people, is totally fictitious. It's the teenage mindset that's given here with the Knight. You got two kids, Page, Knight. Those are kids. None of this. Except for really the Chariot, but even then, he's not really the emphasis of this card. Nothing is really suggesting there's adults in here, except for him. Now, again, he's the one who's controlling the Chariot. He's got two Sphinx, and I like to kind of have the whole Apollo. I can't remember the king or the emperor who he helped earn the hand of. I always use the story, but I see it as a lion and a hog because of that story, and how Apollo had to, of course, be the leader. He had to understand the reaction of the hog to the lion and it's snipping at it, and their issues and their aggressiveness, because they're not two energies to be played with together. You had to be able to have an emotional, intellectual aspect to you, especially in the realm of animal, to navigate that bullshit. So in this situation, you're kind of having to deal with the same bullshit too, in a way. Now, of course, all not mythological or anything, not nothing like that, but more of like, okay, there's a part of you that's a little bit aggressive, and there's a part of you that's, a little bit more down to earth, a little bit more, but you're touchy because you have certain, aspects that make you a predator in that angle too. So there's like some bumps and, there's some tossing back and forth, which is what would make this Chariot stagnate, which you need balance of both of them. You need to be able to control both of them equally, so you have movement. Speed is possible here. It's something about moving fast, and this healing process can move very quickly when you're focused and you're always, you're constantly in the moment. Something about being in the moment with this card here, it's saying like, hey, don't worry about outside of you, worry about what's happening right now and where you're going. Take your vehicle and make sure it's going into the right lot. You don't want to drive into a private property and get your ass towed. You don't want any sort of problems, pay a fine, all kinds of shit, get sued, none of it. Right? This is about staying focused on you, staying focused on what you got. Don't worry about the naysayers, don't worry about the gossip, and ultimately too, don't let yourself get to a point where you think that situations when they get serious, it's the deterioration of them, it's the destruction of them. All earth energy and water, to me, earth especially, is quite serious. You don't want to poo poo it, blase it away. When I see swords, you definitely don't want to fucking do that. So luckily we don't see no swords, but with cups, I mean, yeah, you can kind of like, but this is feelings. You don't want to blase those either. You don't want to just kind of poo-poo those off, even though this can be a symbol of joy. This can be a symbol of happiness. Cups in itself. This card, Five of Cups, specifically, is a mournful card, so it's not. So, but I'm saying, like, it's still an emotional thing. You don't want to take the mournful aspects of you and play lightly to it. You don't want to ever make yourself feel like what you're going through or feeling is not worth feeling. It's not, it makes no sense. You shouldn't feel this way. It's weak and all this bullshit. No, the Knight of Wands has the tendency to be dipping on really serious situations because he doesn't want to feel the extremities of his feelings. He doesn't want to cry really hard or get really fucking pissed off and rage out, because it's about controlling his feelings, and that's ultimately already hard to do. He likes to control his feelings in the way of art, in the way of expression, in the way of it not being a problem when it's expressed anyway. Aries, we got a lot going on here. And it just feels like we have a lot to do, but we have a lot to do in the whole allowing ourselves to, I don't know, I just feel like we need to really just like, wow, confusion. This is straight. Yeah, we just probably need to buckle up and just be prepared for the changes that's coming in. Like, Tower is also very, very quick and unexpected. You don't really see this energy coming. This person is, I mean, this energy is really scary. Like, I feel like, but it's not scary in a bad way. Like, the Chariot's a victory card. Tower, not so much. Tower is like, okay, well, since we are still here and we have not done anything, we will go ahead and start this over. If you didn't have all your you've not gathered any provisions, you will need to find some after this. You know, because this is a foundation readjustment. This is a toe up from the flow up moment. But this is Chariot coming around behind it. Like, you're like, it's Godspeed at this point. He's not only going to wreck your life, he's going to make sure you are put in a new position to do what you were meant to do in the beginning, which is to be yourself, to take things slow, get to know everybody without expectations, without high expectations, very limited expectations. The Tower talks about how these people were underestimating the world around them because their standards, their way of life was so high, and they didn't have any sort of self-regard, that they kind of just didn't expect their shit to get fucked up. They totally did not expect their shit to get fucked all the way up. And then it did. But I don't see this as like a really bad thing. I think, again, this is kind of compounding. This is sad. Tower is like, whoa. So definitely caught you off guard. And I feel like right now you're just trying to get your bearings. Trying to gather your bearings. Trying to get yourself under control. You're starting a whole new path, doing this on your own. And you're trying to be very compassionate and patient with the people around you, energies around you. But be careful about when things get serious. Be careful, because seriousness isn't always a bad thing. It takes into account what really matters. Playing, poo-pooing, gish galloping, lollygagging, those things just do not always get things done. The Knight of Wands has an issue with that. Completion is the issue. Let's see. And Page of Pentacles. I mean, Page Pentacles to Knight of Pentacles. Those are students. So you're still learning, and there's lots of things that you're getting a better understanding of. The more attention you're taking into it, you know. I'm probably gonna pull one for the Knight of Wands, and then, oh wow, okay, Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups. See, I'm telling you, commitment is the problem. We just have a really bad problem with commitment. When I see those two come up, if I had the Knight of Pentacles that come up with that, I'd be like, all right. If it was the Knight of Swords, I would have been like, oh, okay, so maybe it's not so much commitment. It's about seeing if there's any sort of like meeting in the middle minds and sort of thing. But the fact the Knight of Cups and Knight of Pentacles are there, it's just telling me right there. Yeah, this has got to do with commitment, sticking through it when it gets serious. Okay, sorry, y'all. I had to go take care of a bug. I apologize. Scared the shit out of me. Had to take care of it. But I appreciate it. Okay. Well, I see the, yeah, not, no. Commitment is the problem. Commitment. And then we have the Hierophant here. Bro, this is straight up commitment. King of Pentacles, the Page of Pentacles, commitment. Commitment, commitment, commitment. Just stick with it. Just stick with it. You better off sticking with it and trying it out and seeing it through to the end than versus it just like, you know what? Fuck it. You don't need it because you're not gonna stick around no way. Like, no. I feel like the same attitude is being applied to your love life. Like, I don't know what it is that you keep starting to stop in, but it's, listen. I feel like this is the Knight of Wands. Knight of Cups, they're just so wishy-washy about what they want to do. So wishy-washy. Not, they're like, okay, yeah, I like it right now. Shit gets difficult. Shit gets hard. Shit gets frustrating. Yeah, I'm over it. I don't want nothing to do with it now. Listen, you gonna miss out on lots of beautiful things if everything happens that way. If you just keep flipping it on and off, like, you know what? Yeah, I'm pretty good. I mean, the Page of Pentacles is learning how to adapt to your new surroundings. I think some of y'all are going to college, going to school, going back to school. Maybe y'all even considering a new job, starting a new job, learning on the job. Something about this Hierophant is like a whole different. It's a different organization. Something that's going to require your dedication day to day. Be consistent in some sort of fashion. Some way, shape, or form is to do with your commitments to family or some sort of something to yourself in regards. Okay, but again, I can't help but feel like this is something to do with a school or something to do with learning. It could be just like learning about relationships or what kind of commitment you would look for in a relationship to begin with. Could be that. Very well could be that. Whew. It's just a little strange. It's just a little strange. I feel like maybe you change your mind too fast or you change courses too quickly. And or I don't think so because if you yeah, well you could, but it could be because you're still looking at what you used to have, and it just you feel like you're not gonna get any better than that, and you shouldn't let yourself go that far. I feel like for some of you guys, if you are letting if that is some of you, I can't say it's for all, and this is the majority of the reading. I don't think so. For the small smidget of you who may think this is all, this is that was as good as it was gonna get. Everything after that is just not good enough. There's a comparison to it that just doesn't seem to fit. But you're applying it to an old you, to an old way of how you wanted to feel. You got a new way in which you want to feel, and now that needs to be considered and tailored to. And it may not be the old way. You may end up going back the old way and doing something how it used to be, but you're noticing how much you've changed, and you probably have just imploded it. You or another person just like, yo, we're clearly not the same people as where we started. So why are we still trying to make something that wasn't working work? Let's just start over. Let's just do it over. Let's get a whole new start over from scratch. Let's just break free from this. Okay, and I say break free. I mean, Tower is about breaking free, but now it's by choice. And then the Five of Cups was like, man, I didn't really get a chance to do X, Y, and Z with this thing. It's like, well, you have an opportunity to find something different and spend time with that. So I feel like you wasted more time and not making your happiness a longer longer duration to get to at this point, because we're still looking at what was instead of how it can be. Once you get that under, I feel like once you do see that, I feel like you'll be fine. Interesting. Okay, let's count these. So you have 27. So you have 1 is the same, 2 is different, 3 is different, 4 is the same, 5 is different, 6 is different. So I think everything but 4 is different. Sorry, 1 and 4 are different. So 1 and 4 are the same. That's what I meant to say. So we're doing 5 and 1 and 4. So we'll do 1. So we'll do 2. 2. Difficulties are drawing nearer. Remain calm if you are the subject of gossip. Trying to defend yourself would only lend unnecessary weight to certain senseless accusations. Number 3. Behaving rashly, you have squandered your strength and now stand at the mercy of your opponents. Excuse me. Only extreme caution can save you now. The hell is going on with y'all? What the hell? What the fuck? What the fuck? I mean, this does look like it's a showdown now. The thing is I don't see no. I mean, he's a fighter too. The two fighter signs would be, of course, two fighter cards would be the Knight of Swords and Knight of Wands. This is a softie. He's a sweetheart. He don't fight. He's a knight in shining armor. He just wants to save you from yourself and whatever that could look like, basically. I mean, this was tilted. He just basically wants to save you from yourself. The Knight of Wands, he wouldn't mind saving you from yourself or the world, because as long as that, shows you how great he is and how dynamic he is. He doesn't care about what you see of him. He just wants to make sure that you don't ever feel like he's going to do anything to hurt you on purpose. Okay? Still very self-oriented, so it's very ego-based. But this is the only one motherfucker that would fight anybody. And it would usually just be for themselves. So, like, even if it was for you, they would maybe want you, and they may want you to be safe for themselves. They may not want you to be safe for you. They want you to be safe for themselves. But it's still, you take it how you leave it. Some people like that. Some people are like, wow, that's really selfish. And I don't know how I feel about that. Is that narcissistic? I don't know. But what I will say is that there being people around you that really want your ass for something, don't see that. Don't see the conflict. The only conflict I see here is the Five of Cups, and this is already somebody that lost something. So you already lost something, or you're already in the process of losing things, and it doesn't feel good, but you're not letting yourself, I feel like, you are starting from the bottom, but you're not doing it in a way that you feel disheartened. The Knight of Wands is opportunity. It's optimism. Now the Cubs, he's hope, he's faith, he's dreams. You may need to sacrifice the wishy-washiness of things that you may like, may don't like, whatever it is. Get rid of it so you can truly be a supporting force for yourself. Because there may be people around you who have an issue with you. But holy shit, I have no idea. By behaving rashly, like, damn. I feel like, yeah, I don't. Let's look it up. Rashly means without careful consideration of the possible consequences. Yeah, that says the biggest problem with the Knight of Wands. Careless, tactless, and just there's no real direction. The Knight of Wands has his arrow pulled and ready to go, but he doesn't shoot it because he honestly isn't really certain if that's where he wants to commit to the shot of his arrow. This page is the most mature out of all of these, out of both of these teenagers, despite them being older and despite them understanding concepts way more than this important little page can. He stays consistent. He works through the hard stuff even when it gets boring. He pushes through when he doesn't want to be there. He'll still show up regardless of how he feels. But these two ride on their feelings. These two will let themselves be guided on how they feel. And sometimes it goes awry. But what this motherfucker happens to do all the time is not consider how people are feeling about the actions that they take and the things that they do. This is why I was saying, like, with him, he won't want you safe because he wants you he wants you to be safe. He wants you to be safe so you can be at convenience for that person at, more leisurely. They're thinking about it in terms of what do they truly get out of it. Not so much of how does this help everyone or how does this affect everything in an overall, like an overall goodness scale or overall bullshit scale, that sort of thing. This can be kind of selfish. Knight of Wands, I love him. Love Sag. Love them all. But you do want to be a little bit careful with that. You do want to be a little bit careful. Okay? So what was it? So two was different. Three is different. Okay, so we read 3. 4 is the save, so it's 5, 6. Okay. The danger's not yet over. Okay, yeah, we kind of already got at that. My God, didn't you just say that? By behaving rashly, you've squandered your strength. Now, it's line 3. You now stand at the mercy of your opponents. Only extreme caution can save you now. Damn. This is literally what this. Be gentle. This is like, this is hard. This is why it's hard for you, Aries. This is Cancer. Cancer challenges you, squares you. This is what when they say, oh, that's a squaring energy. It's a challenge. It's a challenge because Aries is all about brute force. It's just doing the thing. It's not really thinking it through. Like, these two don't think. Okay, they're not thinkers. They're not designed to. Even though the Knight of Wands tends to think more, they still don't do that about as much as needed to make sure there isn't going to be a problem. Okay, so in that sense, right? You're being asked, your current situation asking you to be sensitive, to be consistent, and to continue to maintain balance, to build momentum, to get out of the situation, to continue to work towards relief. The Tower is saying, boom, bam, bop. It's over. It's already happened. The shit's kind of kicked off. You need to just kind of be on guard from now on, or like for right now, which is why you have your guard up. The Knight of Pentacles. You have a good boundary. You have good boundaries. You have strong boundaries. Boundaries that people can't get through. And this is a good boundary card. This is a good, comfort zone card, because this also talks about you having healthy self-esteem for the most part in this energy. Oh my God, man. The danger's not yet over, but there is a quiet pause. Use the time to gain perspective. Enjoy it, but don't lose sight of your goal. There's still much to do. And then lastly, you have number 6. So 6, the period of waiting has not yet passed. You should accept the inevitable when things seem desperate. Help will come along. Everything turns out well if you gratefully accept it. Oh, Lord Jesus. Aries, what did y'all get yourselves into, man? What are y'all doing? Struggling. Okay, luckily that's not what that is. Whew. That's number 27. There we go. Nourishment. I like it. This sign stands for bodily nourishment as much as for spiritual nourishment. If you want to cast judgment on someone, then look at the focus of his or her attention and the aspect of existence this person nourishes. Someone who bothers about things unworthy of attention and becomes preoccupied by them will be of little use to you. But someone who has a higher objective in mind will have something valuable to offer you. You two should appear stimulating and encouraging when it comes to relating to other people. I'm going to just read this middle part one more time just because I feel like the brunt of this message was probably just read too quickly, glossed over too fast, because these two energies are fast. It's not all. This energy doesn't listen very well, though. It doesn't pay attention all that well at all. This one does, and the Chariot has to, because if he wants to move fast, he has to take the reins of a lion and a hawk. This is a totally different type of management. Unlike anything a manager at the grocery store has ever put up with as far as the dynamics between different people. Like, this is truly one hell of a challenge. But it says someone who bothers about things unworthy of attention and becomes preoccupied by them. This is these two's problem, right? The Knight of Wands, Knight of Cups, Pisces energy. You be focusing on the wrong shit. I say you, but I mean Pisces sometimes. Pisces energy is notorious for focusing on the shit that does not matter, which is why why the ruling planet is Neptune. The disillusionment, the illusion, the what is it? The fox and what is it called? The smoke and mirrors. There we go. Like, this is distracting. This is drama. This is okay, sensational. What else are we getting out of it? Nothing. No substance. No real material. Are you making money? No. We're not making money from it. We are wasting our time, though. We're proving to ourselves belief systems that are immature and not necessarily real or right or based off of any sort of facts. The Knight of Wands, I mean, he'd be going off of just his hunches, and he will entertain some of the bullshit. Like, he will entertain stuff that's not important because it's it's within his realm of control. He can do that in his emotional state. He has a level of control of his emotions that he wants to stay in. He wants to stay in. So he will pay attention to the shit that Pisces will put up, which is totally nothing real, nothing substantial, nothing that really gets you anywhere. Wonderful ideas, wonderful little concepts and things like that, but work needs to be put into this for it to be done. So obviously what you need to release is to do with like something to do with running away from responsibilities, commitments, things that you're sending your mind and heart and energy to, and then not wasting your time with arguments and stuff that have got nothing to do with those things. That kind of pull your energy and attention away from replenishing yourself and going back into your craft and going somewhere back into what's most important for you, so you can have a better way out about things, you know. Oh, there's more. Pay attention to what you say and carefully choose the things that you contribute to spiritual nourishment. A relaxed and positive approach to life is the best way to strengthen your soul. Hmm. Yeah, don't worry about people's dramas. Don't jump into situations that don't matter to you. Especially when you got so much shit going on. I would say this is about as understanding to want to like have some fun, escape, kind of like, you know, not deal with the situation head on because it's so intense and it's so shocking and it's so, you know, stressful and like debilitating. Plan for this. Don't make it an impulsive thing. Don't just do it all of a sudden. Don't drop the ball because you just need a vacation. You just need to decompress. Stay focused. Stay vigilant. Keep your head up. If you need a drink sometime, okay, but I just say be careful with that. You want to maintain all focus on what's practical and real and what's going to help you. Substances, escapism. This is in your area of sacrifice. It's time to probably let that go for the time being so you can really have the space to enjoy them later. Aries, I'm gonna let you go with that, okay? Really crazy reading. Really crazy reading. Best of luck to you guys, okay? Okay, it sounds real crazy what's going on. But as always, y'all, I will see you guys on the other side. Good luck, man.